Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is going to be extra special bonkers, guys. This is going to be a live video. We're going to jump into, obviously, the REDFIN article. Let me know that my audio is okay, guys. I don't know if I'm having any audio issues, but we're going to complete this video here. And then obviously, guys, after the video, towards the end, I'm going to go over some live Q&As. But again, on my side, it looks like there's an error. I don't know if there's an error, but just let me know if you guys can hear me. So I know that, so I know everything is working. But what I want to do real quick, guys, before I really jump into the REDFIN articles, I want to show you, the CPI report. I want to show you guys the 10-year because, there's been a lot of weight put on the CPI report today. So let me just pull this up for you guys so you guys can kind of see where we're at right now. So this is what I've been watching right here, you guys, which is the 10-year. So the 10-year has actually been going up and down a little bit. When the CPI numbers came out, it actually, okay, good. JJ can hear me. Awesome. Thank you, guys. When the CPI data actually came out, the 10-year actually did go way down and then it rebounded back up. So this is what we want to watch right here, y'all, so that we have a better indication of what's going to happen with the residential mortgage rates. All right. So that's why I keep watching the 10-year. A lot of people are afraid that, if this goes too far, including me, right? We don't want this to go too far down. But remember, you guys, I've been saying that as long as rates stay around in the 5%, preferably the high 5%, we should be okay. But this is what we're going to want to keep our eyes on right here. Let me show you guys the stock market real quick. So the stock market rebounded. It started red. You guys can see right here. Oh, actually, my face is covering it. I'm so sorry, guys. So you guys can see right here that everything is kind of rebounded and is back up. So we'll want to watch that, you guys. I just wanted to deviate a little bit because that report was pretty big. It was a pretty big report. So anyways, wanted to kind of deviate. And we'll keep an eye on the 10-year and the stock market as we go through, on throughout this video. But again, you guys, we'll wait to the end here. I want to talk to Jeff as well. We really got to start asking ourselves, at what point do we start getting back into the housing market, right? And here's the really wild thing, you guys, that, I've been thinking a lot about. A lot of people don't know whether we're going to have a soft landing or are we going to be in a catastrophe for 5 years. It's like a flip of the coin, right? Is it going to be a nightmare for 5 years? Or will we have a semi-soft landing? So it's really, really hard, guys, but we need to focus on ourselves right now, especially right now. I told you guys going into this year, my biggest struggle, and I'm assuming a lot of people struggle on the sidelines, is the emotional aspect of being patient and waiting. Because here's the thing, if it's like me, it's our primary residence. I don't need to invest in my primary residence per se, although I would turn it into an investment property possibly. My point is, we're going to have to be very, very aware of what's going on. And here's the beautiful thing, and this is to Jeff, and you guys may have to wait to my update video to learn this, but I honestly think, you guys, obviously the Federal Reserve has been the catalyst of this housing market crash. The Federal Reserve and the quantitative tightening, raising the federal funds rate, is destroying demand, obviously, right? But I believe the possibility of an additional catalyst that is kind of showing itself right now, and this is pretty much across the board, is the rental market. I think our rental market right now, you guys, I personally think it's going to be a catalyst to additional price decline. So if you're in an area like I'm in an area where there's significant rentals on the market and rental decline, I think that honestly is going to be the catalyst. We've never seen anything like that before. So when I do my update video, you guys, and I want to release it today, but I'll probably release it tomorrow. I'm going to show you guys essentially in my own local housing market, I've been able to find rental homes that are 20% down, 20% down in 3 months. And the inventory is skyrocketing in the rental market right now. So I'm going to show you guys that right now. Again, I think the rich, right? The rich is going to crash this housing market. I honestly think that. So we'll keep an eye on that, guys. But it's very interesting to see, in the CPI report, here's the thing. Okay. Here's the thing that a lot of people aren't really focusing on. Okay. Unemployment is down. You guys, Jerome Powell said, labor market, we want to get labor, the unemployment rate up. The unemployment rate is down since quantitative tightening. We started at 3.8. Unemployment right now is 3.5. And I don't trust those numbers, okay? I'm not the one that's saying that, my inflation fight is based on that. Jerome Powell is. And that is down. Not to mention the other thing, you guys, shelter in the CPI data, that accounts for, I believe, 32 or 34% of CPI. Guess what? That's also up. So the thing that's crazy right now, you guys, is like, the quantitative tightening is affecting different industries in different ways. When all of us know right now, the housing market is unaffordable. So the fact that we already have price decline, you guys, pretty much across the nation, there's still some stubborn metro areas. The fact that we already have massive inventory, comparatively from the beginning of the year, and price decline without unemployment going up, right? We have that without unemployment going up. We have that with historical low foreclosure defaults. All right. So, and again, we don't even have a confirmed recession. And that's why I keep, saying it's really hard to know what to do. So you got to stay prepared. Anyways, you guys, that's my little ramble for the day. We're going to jump into a Redfin article right now, you guys. Now, here's a Redfin article, and save your questions, guys. I'll get to you guys' questions at the end. That's really my favorite part. I don't like my lighting here. Let me see if I can turn this up real quick. All right. Still really awful lighting. I'm really sorry about that, guys. I was actually a little bit behind the ball because I was watching the 10-year, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get ready in 5 minutes. So I'm a little bit distraught. But here's the name of the Redfin article. And this is really important, guys, because, a lot of the things that we're watching are lagging indicators. So we really want to know what's going on in the housing market right now. And what we're noticing right now is obviously sellers are offering, a lot of buying, concessions to buyers. So we're going to go over that, and we're going to see what type of concessions these sellers are offering to buyers. And then we'll get into, a lot more information. So let's get started right now, guys. But the name of this article is "A Record Share of Home Sellers Are Giving Concessions to Buyers." So, this is not a guessing game. This is a fact. It's a record share of, sellers doing that. So I don't know why people still are not, looking at this data or refusing to believe this, but it is what it is, you guys. The crazy thing, with unemployment being, down as well, it's so hard for me to understand. And it's so hard for me, guys, to even believe this information and even trust this information because, again, how is unemployment down? I don't even know what's real anymore, you guys, but I do know that the things are extremely unaffordable right now, okay? So let's continue here. So buyers received concessions such as money for repairs and mortgage rate buydowns. And a record 42% of home sales in the fourth quarter, up 31% from a year earlier. So it's up 11% year over year. Essentially 42% of homes that sold had to do incentives just to get the home sold. Pandemic boom towns, including Phoenix and Las Vegas, saw among the biggest increases in concessions. Home sellers gave concessions to buyers in 41.9% of home sales in the fourth quarter, the highest share of any 3-month period in Redfin's records. And their records only go back to 2020, you guys. So that's up just over 30% in both the previous quarter and the fourth quarter of 2021, and outpaces the prior 40.8% high from the 3 months ending July 2020, when the housing market nearly ground to a halt due to the onset of the coronavirus. But here's what I want to show you guys, okay? So here's where we're at with the concessions. You guys can see that, let's see, ever since when, about June of this year. So ever since about June of this year, all of the concessions have been going up. And again, why do sellers have to give concessions? The sellers have to give concessions because essentially the Federal Reserve has destroyed demand and unaffordability, right? So quantitative tightening and unaffordability. So that's why they have to do this, you guys. And this is actually a really good thing because remember, again, I keep saying this, 10 months ago, it was ugly. The housing market was absolutely ugly 10 months ago, but let's keep going, guys. And I want to show you guys and talk to you guys about the type of sellers concessions, and we'll see that here in a minute, but let's keep going. This is according to data submitted by Redfin buyers agents across the U.S. A concession is recorded when the agent reports a seller provided something that helped reduce the buyer's total cost of purchasing the home. That could include money towards repairs, closing costs, or mortgage rate buydown. And you guys, here's the thing. It's not a real buydown. It's basically just putting money in an escrow account that's designed to help offset the mortgage payment. It's not even a rate buydown. It's crazy that people call it that. But one of the things I highlight all the time, guys, is I have sellers pay all of my closing costs as the buyer. So that's really good. Concessions have made a comeback as rising mortgage rates, inflation, and economic uncertainty have dampened homebuyer demand, giving the buyers who remain in the market increased negotiating power. Jeff, increased negotiating power. So at the very least, that we waited from the peak, we have increased negotiating power, more inventory, more incentives, right? And things of that nature. As far as the national average, obviously, guys, I keep saying it's a lot about local market, right? Now let's keep going. That's a stark shift from the pandemic home buying frenzy of late 2020 and 2021, when record low mortgage rates fueled fierce competition, forcing most buyers to bid over the asking price and waive every contingency just to have their offers taken seriously. Do you guys remember that? Do you guys remember how bad that was? Thank God we're not going through that right now. Buyers are asking sellers for things that were unheard of during the past few years. They're feeling empowered partially because their offer is often the only one, and partly because they know sellers have built up so much equity during the pandemic that they can afford to basically offer the concessions. And that's one of the things that I'm really trying to express to you guys as well, is the fact that, a lot of these sellers, have a lot of equity to lose. I believe that most people, as long as you didn't buy in the last maybe year to year and a half, most people are going to be able to take a 15% equity decline and still be okay. But we'll get to I'm really excited about your questions, guys. I really want to just get to the questions here and really see what's going on with you guys. I recently helped one of my buyers negotiate a $10,000 credit on a new roof and a handful of other repairs. We originally asked for $15,000, but we're happy with $10,000 because the homeowner also agreed to sell for less than the asking price. So this is the question, right? Here's what we want. So now that we're preparing, right? Jeff M is going back in the housing market. February is next month. Obviously, I'm prepared to go back in the housing market. The question is when we decide to go back in the housing market as well-positioned buyers, what do we ask for? How do we negotiate? And this is a really good outline here, guys. Essentially, we want to have concessions, price drops, right? A price drop on the property, concessions, and we want to secure the property for under asking price, right? We want all of those things. So in other words, don't just go out. Well, first of all, I think everyone should continue to wait and be well positioned. But if you're going out to buy property right now, definitely don't just make an offer on a house and not negotiate, obviously, guys, right? You guys understand what I'm saying? But this is very interesting. This chart right here, guys, just basically breaks down the total percentage of transactions and the type of concessions people received. So you guys can see this blue line right here, as you can see. This represents just transactions with any concession. So 42%, we talked about that. 42% total transactions had concessions, but let's look at this better stuff. So this greenish line, looks like Slimer from Ghostbusters color, had concessions and sold below asking. So that's really, really good. So 22%, you guys, or over 1 in 5 properties not only had concessions, they also had to sell for below asking. So that's really good, guys. 22%. Now, obviously the orange had concessions and price drops. We would rather have, all three of those things: price drops, concessions, and asking below. And that's indicated in the red line. So this red line here is what we want to be and what we want to do as buyers in this housing market. So as buyers in this housing market, we want to purchase homes that had concessions, price drops, and was sold to us under asking, right? And here's the thing, you guys, that's only 11%. So if you're going to go out and you're going to go buy houses right now, here's the thing, you guys: be strong, and you're going to and understand you're going to have to work for it, right? You're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to find the deal. You're going to have to negotiate. You're going to have to lowball, and you're going to have to get these things. As time goes on, I believe it's going to be easier for us to find these good deals. But right now, if you're going to go back in, I'm going to tell you right now, because I'm in the market myself, it's going to be a little bit harder to find really good deals. But take a look at this, guys. Phoenix saw the biggest jump in concessions. So obviously, big boom town in Phoenix. Phoenix gave concessions in 62% of transactions. So think about that for a minute. Phoenix is in bad shape, you guys. Phoenix 62%, pretty shocking. Let's go to the bottom here. I'm going to show you guys some of the metro areas here, and you guys can see, the fourth quarter and what they did in the fourth quarter as far as percentage of transactions that actually had a price cut. Now, Atlanta, Georgia, you guys, has had so much investor shares. I'm really anxious to see the rental market in Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm going to tell you guys just real quick, again, when you're going to purchase homes right now, I need you guys to do me a favor, because this is what I'm noticing. I need you, to ask your realtor to do a rental analysis on the market you're interested in, because I did a rental analysis on my local housing market last night, and it was shocking. It shocked me to my core. I don't know when it happened, but it seems like in the last 2 or 3 weeks, my rental market has completely fallen apart, and I'm going to show you guys that in my update video. So, even with the CPI appearing low, you guys, the unemployment is down apparently, right? And the cost of housing is up 0.8, shelters up 0.8. So all, essentially the things the Federal Reserve is saying that they're going to do or that they want to combat is not working. And then, so it's just, there's a lot going on still. A lot of dust in the air, but I wanted to show you guys Atlanta, Georgia. Here's Austin at 33.3%. Boston, hopefully Boston picks up only 17% in Boston. Charlotte, 41. Chicago, 44. Dallas, 49. Denver's really high at 58. Las Vegas, you guys. So Las Vegas is going through some pains right now. Obviously, now here's the thing, you guys, as more and more people do concessions, obviously that should lead to additional sales. And that may be why we see the data shift like we are. All right, so let's keep going here. Here's another big one. Unbelievable. There's Phoenix at 62 again. Portland at 61.6. Sacktown at 55%. Look at this, guys. San Diego. Shocking. So thank God for San Diego. I've had a lot of viewers say, what's going on with San Diego? When is it going to change in San Diego? San Diego is changing significantly, which is really great news, you guys. Really, really great news. So that's what we want to see. Washington, D.C. at 45.3%. But, the good thing, again, you guys, is, things are changing, and it's really going to be interesting to really find out, what once the Federal Reserve pivots, right, or U-turns. This is what I'm saying, you guys, don't fall into like these changes too much. We don't know what's going to be broken yet, right? They're still breaking things. And again, I can't help but just continue to think about how devastated the rental market is right now. It's absolutely devastated. So what I want to do right now, you guys, is let's open it up to some questions. Let's open up some questions. Let me look at the 10 years. So the 10 years at 3.522. Is the market still? So the market turned red. Let me show you guys real quick here. So market is, the Dow's up about a quarter. Market turned red. Let me show you guys the 10 year. 10 years up slightly. So, pretty interesting stuff here, guys. But let's see, let's take some questions now. So send up some questions here, you guys, and I'll do the best I can to answer them. Let's see here. So I think this is, okay, so it just moved here. All right. So I see there's a lot going on in the comments. I have not been able to read you guys' comments, but let's see what Adrian has to say. Vital, why don't you jump on right now, Vital? I want to try to get Vital on here. Let me invite. Here's the link, you guys. I'm going to send the link if you guys want to hop on real quick. Just be super respectful, obviously, because this is a live video. But if you guys want to jump on the video, there's the link in the comment section right there. I just sent that. Vital, Jeff, hop on. Vital, so we can talk. Because I'm sure there's a lot of people that are thinking what you're thinking, so it'd be nice to have a conversation. But Adrian, I am trying to buy a home. Oh my gosh, I'm in Miami. I'm sorry to hear that. Do you think Miami will have a big price decrease? I think it will, Adrian, because it's the most unaffordable city. I think we're seeing, unaffordability ravage California right now. Usually Florida kind of follows behind California. I think it is. I think Miami is going to, drop significantly. I think we see that this year. But again, like telling everyone, just follow your local house market and you'll be able to decide that for yourself. But I believe Miami is going to go down. I absolutely do. I would actually put money on that, to be honest with you guys. Let me see here. Let's see what else we got here, you guys. So I'm trying to buy here's a question right here. So I'm going to try to buy, Deuster's in the house. All right, hold up. What's up, Deuster? Can you hear me?
Hey, what's up, man?
All right, I got to put my audio on. I'm so sorry. Deuster.
Yo, can you hear me?
I got Zay's on here. Got Deuster on here. Talk 1 second, Deuster.
Hey, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yeah, I got you. All right, let me answer this question real quick. I got Zay here. Zay. Okay, so I'm trying to buy a home in Hockley, Cypress, new construction. Do you have any advice? Yes, pray before you go. Use an agent. Don't shop by yourself. Get a lot of incentives. And don't fall in love. Don't show anyone your emotion. And that's what I would say. How you doing, Deuster?
Hey, what's up, man? I just figured I'd hop on. And this is a disclaimer for everyone. I'm not a professional here. I'm just like all of you guys, going through the process myself. I'm actually at my home now that I'm renovating. I got lucky and I scored the right deal, and I'm going through it now.
All right. Hey, man, let's get Zay on here real quick. Someone jumped on Dooster, and then we'll kind of go back to the questions. I want to see what he has to say, man. Zay.
Hey, how are you guys doing? Can you guys hear me?
Good, man. Yeah, I can hear you. We got Deuce. Dude, I got a professional on here, Dooster. You know who Dooster is? He's the comment champion, man.
Oh yeah, I see.
It's a-
He has the wrench right next to his name.
oh man, he gets it done, dude. So what's going on, Zay?
So quick update. I have to buy a house pretty soon just because me and my wife just recently got married. So we're looking for our own place. So I would have wanted to wait a little bit more.
Yeah.
In the housing market just so prices could fall below. But we got a good deal on it, so that's why I'm gonna buy. Sorry if there's noise because I'm driving. But we got a good deal on it. So I commented in the section here. I bought at the height of, I went under contract at the height of the bubble. I went under contract in March 2022.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I went in contract March 2022 on a new build. So that was the height of the bubble. And fast forward to today, good thing I locked my interest rate back then, but fast forward to today, I was going to walk out on the deal because you know how the home prices were dropping. I was like, and they didn't want to budge on the home price drop. So I was like, hey, I'm going to walk out. I'm not going to get this house because I could get something smaller, something a lot cheaper. And at that point, we negotiated $100K off and $25,000 in closing.
When you were under contract?
Yeah, because I went through KB Homes, and I'm in the Sacramento area. Lincoln is the city to be exact. But yeah, I went $100K off, and I got $25,000 towards closing. And because I did the program with them where you lock in your interest. Yeah. So I locked the interest from March 2022, and I got the discounts of today.
Okay, hey, so let me respond to that, Zay. So essentially, what you're saying, I got Dooster back.
Yep.
So essentially, what you're saying, Zay, what's up, Dooster? Essentially, what you're saying is that you went under contract at the height, and you were about to walk away because you started noticing the same or similar houses plummeting in value. And,
exactly.
and so instead of the builder, just letting you go, the builder came back to you and said, I'm going to give you an extra $100,000 off and $25,000. Is that right?
Yes. In closing. Yep.
Beautiful, brother. That is an absolute. So in other words, what you're saying is fight. If you're in a home right now, if you're in a contract, if you're building a home, fight because that builder may give you an additional money off. And Zay, think about that right now. And Vital, this is for Vital Signs. You got $125,000 off by waiting. Because by waiting, if the home was already completed, you'd be done. You'd be stuck in that house right now, upside down, $125,000, Zay. So, dude, it's a hard market. Here's the problem, Zay. It's just like some markets aren't like that. That's what my market is literally showing every single sign. The rental market is being destroyed. Inventory. It's as far as Texas, right? Houston's showing a lot of rental problems. Austin is showing overwhelming price problems. So I have a lot of stuff here, man. But I really appreciate your story, brother. I really appreciate your story. Any question before you go, man?
No, I just wanted to share my story just because, if people can wait longer, then you should wait longer because, I follow your channel. I'm up to date. I follow you in Orlando. So you guys are awesome content creators and just wait it out if you can. But for my situation, I needed to get married. I got married and we want to start our life together, move in a new house and whatnot. But yeah, if you can wait and if you can afford to wait it out, I would just say keep waiting.
Yeah, I love it, man. Zay, I really appreciate you having that courage, man, to come on here and to share that story, man. That means a lot to me, man. I mean, you're telling the people what's going on in the field right now and your success. So I really appreciate you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys for having me.
Yeah. All right, man. I'll talk to you later. All right.
All right. Take care.
See you later, Zay. Dooster.
What's up, man?
What's up, man? Zay, what? Do you hear his story?
Yeah.
That's nice. 125,000 is a lot of money, don't you think?
Definitely.
So what are you thinking, man? What do you think about all this? All of this, I'm looking at the market, all of this flip flopping with the Fed and the pivoting and the U-turn. Do you think we should rush out? Do you think it's a lagging indicator? What are you thinking right now, man?
I don't know. Like I said, we jumped on the home because the right home came up for us, and we were, like I said, well positioned, ready to go. Again, everyone's a little different. For us, this is it for us. So I take a what I don't care so much about scoring that home run. I'm thinking 20 years, raise my kids. So for me, it's a little different, and I'm willing to make that sacrifice. But again, this market's crazy. Florida specifically, I worry that it's not going to drop as much as I think people are saying. I have no idea. It's definitely slowed down. Um, Florida's still crazy. The good homes are still flying off the shelves, and prices are still overpriced. So it's really hard to gauge where we're at there because the homes are overpriced to begin with. They're sitting because they're overpriced. So are they sitting because of market, or are they sitting because they're still dreamers? I don't know, man. This is a really interesting market, man.
It is a really interesting market, man, and that's why we can't get complacent. I mean, it's interesting, it's crazy, and I think the more people that start talking about it, Deuster, especially the recent homeowners, right, and professionals, I think we're going to learn a lot more. I mean, this is a brand new situation, but the thing that remains is unaffordability. The thing that remains is like unemployment's going down, not up. Shelters even get even more expensive, although it is lagging, and the rental market is, at least in my market, it is shocking. Where's Vital at, bro? Where's Vital at? I was hoping Vital's going to come on. But let's get through some of these, Deuster. All right, so here's a question from Kim in Nature. This is crazy. I don't know if you can see this. Basically, she says, Travis, my friend got pre-qualified with Chase. This is crazy. They offered him allegedly, right, $7,000 to use their realtor. Why? Well, and here's the thing. They probably have a relationship. The realtor's probably that loan officer's referral partner. So they're trying to incentivize you to use their realtor. And that, in my opinion, is the definition of a RESPA steering violation. You cannot say that if you use this person, I'll give you something. That's called steering. And that's my biggest problem with the builders. Obviously they steer like crazy. What do you got, Deuster? Anything you want to add there, bro?
Yeah, man. I'm blessed. I have a really good realtor. I trust him. He's become part of the family. You've mentioned it before. That's key. There is no amount of money that would let me be influenced on who I pick. Pick somebody you trust. I've used them for 10 homes. Yeah, you got to pick the right guy, man.
That's a good, yeah. And you hear me say that, Deuster. So, I mean, because it's so rare to find someone that is good. So you've used the same realtor for 10 years. Is that what you just said?
10 years, straight down to earth guy. He's looking out for my best interest. I mean, he's the type of guy that's asking about my kids when they're sick. So that's the kind of person you want in your life.
I mean, great realtors. I mean, when you know a great realtor, there's just, I mean, it's just a beautiful thing, man. I mean, they're just so professional and fluid. I'm not saying that they should get, 6% or 3%. I'm not saying that. I still think it's too much, but that's just my opinion. I got roasted for the video I made the other day. Like, I can't believe you said that, Travis. I'm like, it's just how I feel. All right. So here's a question, man. How are people with a family and one parent working, surviving? I think if they were to buy a house today, also anyone notice that there's a shortage of workers everywhere? How are they making it by? So, Deuster, this is just someone, when I'm reading this is just someone that's struggling right now, probably a single parent. And they're from what I'm looking at right here is like, they're probably struggling to save money, right? Like, here's the thing. I helped someone before. It was a young couple. They were both working at Walmart, and great credit, no debt, right? Phenomenal credit, absolutely no debt. I got them a grant program, a down payment assistance program, not a bond, a grant. A bond has sometimes strings attached. A grant is essentially free money. So, here's the thing, H&R Productions. I personally think that most grants and down payment assistance programs are abused, but they are available and they do help some people. And that may be an option for like single mothers or people that can't save their money. What do you think, Deuster?
No, man, it's tough. I really feel bad for people. Me and my wife are blessed. We've got good jobs, but I was just at Sam's. I spent $14 on eggs. I mean, things are just simply not adding up. milk. I mean, it's tough out there. Single parent, I feel for them, man. The numbers right now, something's got to give, and that's where we're at right now.
So let's talk to Vital. He can't hop on. I don't know how far up I am on the comments. So Vital, man, I mean, so a lot of people are hypersensitive right now, right? Because this is a huge transaction. Like you've bought what, 10 houses, Dooster?
Yeah, but again, I did it not for investment purposes. I want to be clear on that. I did it because I was in the Marine Corps and I had to move for one reason or another. I was lucky where I made out in each situation, but I was a little smart about it too,
Well, I mean, and also my point is 10 transactions is a lot of experience. Whether you're buying for investing or primary, you went through that crap 10 times. And it's not fun, man. I mean, there's nothing fun about buying a house except when you walk into it, when you're done. That's when it's fun, when you're done with everything. You're walking in, turning, putting the key in the door, opening the door. That's when it becomes fun. But, for people like Vital, and I'm going through a little bit of this as well, Duster, it's really hard for me to compose my emotions because I'm renting myself. Even though I own real estate, I'm renting now. I'm looking for a primary residence. I don't want to time the bottom of the market, but I also don't want to catch a falling knife. And I have found houses. I have found probably over 3 houses now in my local housing market that I like. And they're at, under 2021 value, man. So it's starting to happen. It's starting to happen. My question is how, it should last for a little while, right? But what do you say, to Vital? He's worried, right? He's anxious and I don't mean to speak on his behalf, but I think he's anxious, so when he sees anything less than like horrible news, he gets a little worried, right? And the same thing, I wanted CPI to be all crazy and the 10-year to shoot up, right? But I'm watching other things like unemployment. I'm watching rent. So what do you tell to someone like Vital, man? I mean, he's smart. He probably wants to move on with his life and buy a house, man. Be done with this crap.
Again, I understand money's money, but for me personally, I sold everything I had. I went into a rental. It's been painful. A little 1,800 or 1,600 square foot rental. We're displaced. For me personally, I didn't want to go another summer of my kids, without a pool and I want them to be established. So those are all factors that I decided on to make a purchase, and I probably overpaid a little bit. For the average person, they should wait. But you got to sit back. It can't, in my opinion, it can't all be about the money, man. You got to take everything into account.
Yeah, that's a good point. Hi, I'm Day. Real quick, nice to see you. I just wanted to add on to what Dooster said. And this is to you, Vital. I just want you to be cautious, man. All right, that's what I'm saying. I want you to be cautious. I don't want you to get trapped. You got to worry about mental health. Mental health, your kids moving on with life, and that goes into play for me and my decision making. So there's no hate, brother. And the thing is like the fact that Vital's, he's worried and he's like paranoid. At least he's going to be worried when he's buying. So that means he should not rush in, right? He should be patient. He should look for a good deal. So Dina, I'm a Day.
Hi.
How are you,
Travis? I love it.
Thank you. So nice to see you. Thank you for all your comments. I got, what the heck? Dooster left, and then okay. So we're having some. Okay, I got all 3 of you guys. Dooster's right there. Oh my gosh, Ima, it's nice to see you. How are you?
Good. I'm doing good. I'm hanging in there like everybody else.
That's all we can do. It's just, what do you have any questions or anything you want to add?
Well, no, I mean, when you were talking about what you went through with in your experience with the foreclosure and bankruptcy and all that, I did the same thing at the same time you did. And so where I'm at in the Denver area, I mean, I've lived here since 1973, which I'm not sure. I'm only 28, so the math doesn't really add up. But anyway, I know what the houses should cost around here. And I have seen just them skyrocket in such a short amount of time, and they're not even worth what they're asking for out here. So for me, I've just been renting like you and sitting on all of this until I've been watching them go down a little bit out here, but not near what they should be.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think we got some space. I think we got room to go with because unaffordability,
Oh yeah.
unaffordability. So here's a question from WTH. Love him. He hit the champion like you guys. Travis, how do you negotiate the sellers to pay closing costs? My realtor acted like it was crazy when I suggested it. Find a new realtor. Deuster, this is you. This is your question, Deuster. Deuster's had a realtor for 10 years. Tell him what's up, Deuster.
I mean, I've heard of it now, and I've heard about the whole lowballing. And you know, give it a shot. You got nothing to lose right now. In Florida, for me, I mean, laugh at me if I try that. Every situation is a little different. I don't know, man. That's a tough one, man. Let's put it this way: I lowballed on a house, 150,000 over asking, and they must have gotten offended because they came down $1,000. That was their counter. So for me to ask closing costs, no, there was no chance.
What about you, Iman? What do you say? I am so disappointed with that answer, but I mean, that's his local housing market, right? But that was real. That was real. Iman, what do you got? Iman, what do you think?
I say you definitely. I mean, it's always a no unless you ask, right?
Yeah.
So I say you do it anyway, just because eventually they're going to have to come down and come down a lot. So people have they just got to get busy. Don't show any emotion if you love the place, because I think everybody really realizes now, probably most everybody, that the prices are way, way too much. And so yeah, if you really have to get something, you might as well negotiate pretty low just
All
to give
right.
it a shot.
All right. All right. So here's my answer. Here's my answer. Okay. So I had a family friend reach out to me to buy a house in my local housing market. And I begged him to wait. I begged him to wait. I was like, please, my God, please wait, wait. I couldn't convince him. All right. So I made a condition as a realtor to him. And my condition is I will not represent him unless he does lowball offers. That was my condition. And not only did we do lowball offers, additionally, when they hit an impassable, they couldn't pass, like, oh, we're not going to, I waived my commission in half. I lowered my buyer's commission 1.5%. Easy decision. They got the house now. Right. So, I mean, it's just, that's me though. Right. That's what I believe in. And honestly, I told him I'm not willing to represent, and I don't want to rep anyone, to be honest. It was a family friend. I said, I'm not going to waste my time unless you get yourself a good deal, because I want to be able to sleep at night. Anyways, take a look at this, you guys. So this is someone that's in the Kingwood area. The landlord wants to raise the rent $1 a square foot. He's saying that there's no thanks. There's somebody out there for, actually, I did a rental analysis last night on Kingwood. So here's what's crazy, Deuster, Ima. And I got to wait for my update video, but in 2022, the average rent was $1.01 a square foot. Okay. $1.01 a square foot. I found, I think, 9 properties that are selling, trying to be leased out for like 90 cents or cheaper a square foot. There's one right now, real nice house, 82 cents a square foot, been on the market for 90 days. 82 cents. That's what, almost 20% lower in a month. Right. So anyways, the rental market's good. And I would say to this person, then go, you right now, if you're renting, at least in my market in Texas, go find another one, because I could tell you right now, these landlords are getting desperate. I see price cuts like crazy right now. Do not stay in your rental if they're going to raise your house. That's my opinion. You guys have anything you want to add to that? Deuster?
I'm paying a ridiculous amount. I'm paying $29.50 a month for a little shack. Well, that's how crazy Florida is.
Yeah.
And my landlord, he acted like he was doing me a huge favor. He's like, if you extend another year, I won't raise your rent. That's what he told me.
Yeah.
Little did he know, I'm sending the last rent here in a month, and I'm out of there. So, yeah, again, it's all relative to the area. I know what you're saying. Florida over here, crazy. It's just crazy. Rentals are going 16 to 1,800 square foot. I mean, you're looking at $3,000 or $4,000. It's nuts.
So here, I don't know. It's saying he's lying. I'm not sure. Who are you lying, Deuster? Ima, are you lying?
No, about what?
It's Ima.
I didn't
Ima's
say
lying.
anything yet.
I think it's. Oh wait, you didn't say anything yet. That's right. Okay. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Ima, what do you think?
I wish I no. Yeah, we're renting currently, and we're renting actually in a complex. We're not renting somebody's. It's a complex. So ours is a 1 bedroom. It's small, and it's over 2,000 a month. And I've noticed in this complex there are people who have moved out, but people are not moving in. So they've got some vacancies for sure. I did go on the listing for the complex, and I did notice that our unit, there are some coming up, they're actually going to go less than what we're paying for it. And we had done this before where if we weren't ready to buy yet, a lot of complexes will allow you to transfer within your complex. I know it's a pain, but if you save like $300 a month on your rent, and you have to rent for a while still, you can jump ship of your lease for one to go to another. It may cost you a little bit of a fee, but it's definitely, it had been worth it for us in a couple of cases.
I'm going to show you guys real quick. Great response. Let me show you guys. I want to show you the rental market real quick. I'm going to pull this up. Okay, so what you guys are looking at right here, this is my active live MLS, just to show you guys, especially if anyone's like, oh, we don't see it or we got to buy right now. I really want to show you this. I wanted to wait Ima and Dooster to my house and market update video, which I really love doing that video, but I really want to show you just so you can see. So I'm going to type in Kingwood right here. Okay, and I'm going to show you the results right here. Now, so basically, just to kind of tell you guys, let me see. Oh, actually, let me go back here. All right. So this is what I'm gonna do. So this is active listings in Kingwood. Okay, but I got to remove the apartments. So I'm going to select right here. You see single family detached. Okay, so I'm going to look at single family detached. Let's go to results. Now I'm going to categorize by square footage, just in case people want to see this. I love it. Now, first, let me show you what the average rent was. I have that right here. Isn't that awesome? I already have it up. Look at this. Look at this. So the average rent in 2022, okay, for single family detached was $1.01 a square foot. Y'all see that? This is 2022, okay? So $1.01 a square foot. Now take a look at this. Can you guys see this? Look at this. Look at how many houses. There's 12 houses. There's 19 up for rent. Out of the 19, 12 of them are 95 cents or under a square foot. So this one is the cheapest. This is 79 cents a square foot, but on the market for 30 days. Look at this. This is 82 cents a square foot, but in the market for 3 months. And look at these pictures, you guys. Look at it. These aren't bad houses. Look at this. 90 days on the market, 20% under market value for rental. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't this a nice house? It's just sitting there 90 days, 20% under market. The rental market right now, you guys, insane. It's absolutely insane. Let me get us back here. Absolutely insane.
Yeah, I'm seeing some of the comments saying that people don't think is real. I don't know if you can see this, but that's what I'm paying for a little shack. So anyone that thinks that I'm BSing, there it is. It's crazy, man. It really is.
I know. I mean, so many different markets, you guys. I mean, it's pretty wild. So someone wants to join a call. Yeah, you can. I sent it there. Dooster, someone says you're in the dark. Dooster's not a cinematographer. See how some of these people are like, you better do everything perfect. You're not a real person. You got to be perfect.
I'm always giving Dooster crap on the comments.
Really? This is what I learned about video, man. Oh my gosh, that house is so nice, Dooster. Is that a pool? Oh my gosh, look at Dooster's. Jeez, man.
I know.
What I learned about video is you just got to be yourself. No acting. I'm not like a movie. I'm not like an actor, right? You just got to try to be yourself, and then also be shameless. It took me a long time, Alma, because I'm conceited as heck. It took me a minute to get to be shameless. I'm like, no, I have to look right. And anyways, so let's keep going here. Let me try to get you guys any questions. I'm a little bit.
Dooster looks like he's going for a walk now. I don't know what's happening.
No, I was just showing the yard there.
Oh.
Let me answer this question. So Todd's asking, how do you find a good realtor? You're going to know Todd because you're going to make phone calls to shop realtors, and it's going to be really easy for you to find out the difference. But a good realtor is going to give you data. A good realtor is going to keep providing you data, rental market data, housing market data, market analysis. They're going to call you. They're going to make sure you're okay. They're going to be polite. They're going to be kind. They're going to be there for you, right? Anything I forgot there, guys, you think of?
No, just gotta ask, talk to people, look at reviews. I mean, you'll weed them out.
Yeah. So look at this one. This is good. What do you think about developers and builders delaying construction in certain areas? I've been waiting on new communities to open up for about a year and no progress seems to be made. But first I want to say this. The thing is me trying to do those boots on the ground videos for you guys, like I'm trying to show you guys that they have a whole bunch of construction and homes that are not even on MLS. And as far as delaying construction, we have a tax year. We just hit January. They probably delayed construction so they wouldn't have tax bills due in January, right? That's what I'm thinking. What do you guys, anything you think?
Yeah.
Mr. Ima?
Yeah, I think that's probably true. We have a lot of construction going on around here, but I believe there's a lot sitting there too. They're getting them done, but they're just sitting.
Yeah. Yeah. Any idea why that is, Deuster? Why do you think they're sitting, Deuster?
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. There's obviously some kind of incentive there.
So here's a good one. So by springtime, will that accelerate price cuts? Now, here's the thing that I think is going to happen. So I may move my purchase date from February to April to wait for the springtime inventory dump. So I think it's going to accelerate price cuts in springtime again, because that's the inventory dump. Right now we're having price cuts with like low inventory, historical low inventory. So when we get more unemployment, more defaults, more inventory, and people have to sell, anyone that has to sell in a market like this, I think we're going to see those price cuts, personally.
Yeah, totally agree.
What do you think, brother?
I mean, I on the new homes, as far as price cuts, I think that's definitely going to happen.
Yeah. And we're seeing that already, you guys. So here's a comment right here. I only read house hacking and budgeting. Like, I don't need to read anything else on this comment. Like that right there, if you're house hacking, you're budgeting, mission accomplished, y'all. Like budget, house hack, and house hacking means like it's cash flowing and it makes sense and you've done your work, right? Not just buying the first house. It's got to flow. I have investors, you guys, that call me sometimes, Ima, and I had this investor call me, and he wanted to buy like a brand new house in my area, and I'm like, how? Like, it doesn't cash flow, right? Like, how would you do it? It doesn't cash flow. So I think a lot of people that want to invest right now, it might be a really good time to not invest right now, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Especially as the investors continue to get messed up. Where's Vital?
I noticed on the comments, a lot of people in different areas were saying that their prices haven't changed at all, that they're still very high where they're at. Did you guys notice that?
Yeah, and there's some markets that are like that. Jeff's market's like that. My market in Houston here is down maybe about 5 or 6%. I mean, there's markets that are not like Austin, Boise, Phoenix, Las Vegas for sure. That's the frustrating thing, I think, is some people can't see it, they can't feel it because it's so hyper local. But I think the overall, pretty much everywhere's being price cut. What do you think, Mister?
I just talked to my buddy though. Actually, yesterday, he's like, why would I go ahead and sell my home at a 2.6% rate? He's paying about $2,100 a month, and he can rent that out for $3,800. So I think that's factoring into the slowdown. Anybody who does their homework, they'll rent it before they sell it, which is leading to a continued shortage of homes. But right. That's just what I'm seeing.
It's not enough.
Yeah, I mean, some good points. I think people are going to convert, like you said. I think because of cash flows. If someone has a 3%, 2% rate, they can get in a distressed rental market and still cash flow. And again, it will. And sir, I see what you're saying. Like, it will lead to less inventory, but I believe it's going to lead to more inventory because there's already investors poorly leveraged. There's already investors saturating the market, barely making any cap rates. So when these homeowners with like great cap rates start coming on the market even more and more, I think it's going to cause those others, like if they're short term, if they're flips, if they're long term, I think some people, they're going to have no choice but to liquidate. And I think that's what I'm saying. I think this is a rich person, crash. I think it's going to be led, and the catalyst is investors. It's people that were successful. I mean, look at how much money, man, they've lost in the stock market. So much people, I mean, FTX, crypto, I mean, people are getting destroyed, like the rich, the investors. And then the other thing is, every class is getting destroyed, quite frankly.
Mhm.
So here's a question from JC. If a new home builder offers $30,000 towards price reduction, closing costs, or mortgage rate buy down, what is the best option? My opinion is the price is always going to be the best option, although offsetting closing costs is also helpful. What do you guys think?
Mm.
It just becomes a numbers game, man. You got to plug it in the calculator and see where you're at, and basically how long you plan on staying there.
Yeah. What do you think, Ima?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that statement for sure. But I don't know. For me, $30,000 incentive depends on how much that house is. I mean, if it's way overinflated, 30,000 to me is like nothing. So
Yeah. I think you guys, I mean, preferably the price, right? But if it helps you with liquidity and not have to go out of pocket additional closing costs, I guess that can make sense. But yeah, I mean, the price I think is going to be really a big thing here. Let's see here. What else we got for questions? I'm way high on this list here. So what market are you in, Dina?
oh, I'm Denver Metro.
You liking a lot of stuff you're seeing out there?
I live in Littleton actually, which is a little bit south of Denver, and it's been interesting because there was a couple of, and I might have made these comments a couple times. There was a couple of open door homes that were bought in a neighborhood that I grew up in, and they bought them way overpriced. They bought them for about $769,000 a piece. They were on the market for months, and I think they had to cut them down to one of them was under 600 before I think it sold, and then the other one I think is still on the market. So yeah, they're kind of getting crushed out here with that.
Good. It's so crazy that some markets don't see any of it. It's sad. That part makes me sad. So here's a really good question. This is JJ. This is, I think, more of for me to answer. But negotiations with a low appraisal, I think what they're asking is if they're already in a transaction and they're in the process of that transaction, the appraisal comes in low. What do you do then when you're negotiating? Now, what I'm going to do when I'm negotiating is I'm going to tell the seller to go down on the price because their house ain't worth what they're trying to sell it for. So that's what I'm going to do. But they also may be asking, like, what if the appraisal comes in low, like on a refinance, right? And like, how do you negotiate to get a higher appraisal? And the way you do that is a rebuttal form done through the lender, and a rebuttal form allows you to give the appraiser additional comparable data, and then ask them. You can ask questions on why they determined the value they did. Here's a good question right here. What are in Houston would you recommend for low crime and great school ratings? I guess email me and maybe I could point you in the right direction. But I like Klein, the Woodlands. I like Kingwood. I mean, it's pretty easy to find. You probably like the Woodlands. Katie's nice. Sugarland's nice. But probably the Woodlands is what you'll probably like. This is crazy. I'm going to do a video on Wells Fargo. Did you all hear about that? That's a big deal.
Oh God.
Yeah. Wells Fargo's getting out of the at least a secondary, like purchase correspondent lending. That's a huge deal because like when I was really actively doing loans, we sold a lot of paper to Wells Fargo. So the fact that Wells Fargo's out of the mortgage business, I don't understand that. To me, that's so shocking to me because it's still profitable, right? So I don't get it. I don't know why they're out, but they are out. And I read that like 2 days ago from Jeff, actually.
I'll
Someone's
check
asking,
into that one.
where are you at in Florida, Deuster?
I have a home in Melbourne Beach, and I have a home in Melbourne. The home in Melbourne is the one I just picked up. They refer to it as like the Vieira area. I'm over here in Suntree. It's a big golfing community, which I hate golf. I'll be the one with the air horn out here.
It's funny. I actually want to go out to Melbourne in a couple weeks. That's funny. Did you hear the news about that washed up hammerhead shark?
I mean the orca.
Oh my gosh, no, not the orca. The orca's even bigger news.
I haven't seen the hammerhead yet. No.
Well, the orca's even, yeah, the orca washed up yesterday. A killer whale washed up on a Florida beach yesterday. And they think, you know what, they think that's from the windmills, or not the windmills, the wind power in the ocean. I don't know if you heard that. But pretty crazy sight to behold. A lot of people are asking you to show off your house, Deuster. Or no, people are saying you're showing off.
Oh, no,
yeah, Deuster, while some of us are renting a 1-bedroom. Thanks.
Hey, man, I'm renting too. Like I said, I'm not a professional. I stuck it out for a year, saved up our money, and for us, we're going all in on this home that I got lucky on, and we're completely renovating it. So, yeah, just a little patience. You'll get there.
Yeah, this is a kind of a general question. I just wanted to respond to this. Do I have a good realtor? And Katie, and then someone else is asking, can you be my realtor? Seriously. And here's the thing. I can't tell you guys this enough, but I'm helping a family friend because I've chewed them out and I've said, you better lowball. I'm not going to represent you. I'm not representing people. I don't want to sell houses and I don't want to help people buy houses. I'll sound the alarm. I'll show you guys data. I'll show you what I'm doing, but don't I'm not going to be your realtor. I'm so sorry, but I'm not going to be your realtor or your loan officer, but I know probably 2,000 realtors in Houston. I'm not joking. So if you guys do need help in Texas, specifically Austin or Houston, email me and I will do the best I can to respond to your email and to at least point you in the direction of someone I trust. But as far as me, I am not doing it. But I'll tell you when I get back in. I'm just not willing to do that right now. Again, it was a family friend, or else there's no way I would do that because again, I don't want to work with someone that doesn't. It's emotional out there. I'm not gonna help someone get trapped in a house, and that's just how I believe. That's how I'm living my life. It is what it is. Someone is blocked for 5 minutes. I'm not sure who. Deuster, I have a townhouse in Miami Gardens running for $2,500. Should I hold it or? Oh, dang, Deuster, you're getting questions from viewers, bro.
Again, I'm not a professional, so I really don't I'm not an investor, so I don't keep an eye as much on the market. I do know from what I saw, from everything I see, Miami's headed toward that's going to be the first one to really take a hit in Florida. The numbers just don't make sense down there. As far as without knowing details of your home, I mean, I have to assume you can make money on that at $2,550. I could be wrong.
Okay. All right. Here's the question of the hour, right? And we're on the, CPI number came out. Question. So we know that home prices will continue to drop. But what do you, first of all, I mean, literally, we don't know anything, right? We don't know anything for sure. But yeah, I would definitely agree that on average, overall, yes, home prices will continue to drop. But what do you think will happen with interest rates throughout this year and early in 2024? What do you got? Let's ask Dina. I want to see from her perspective. What do you think, Dina?
Well, I think they'll still go up a little bit personally. Just because people don't realize as low as these interest rates were, that's just not normal. It wasn't normal. So you've got to get them back to a normal rate. And honestly, if you have a higher interest and a lower priced house, that makes way more sense. A house that, like say, I would rather have a higher interest on a $200,000 home than low interest on a $600,000 home. That's overpriced, personally.
What do you got, Deuster?
I'm willing to bet by the end of the year, I think we'll be hovering somewhere in the fives. That's what I'm hoping. 5.5. there's going to be a lot of influence with this next election. You know how it goes in the games. I see best case scenario after all this settles, mid fours. I think that's where everything will be back to normal. But when we get there, I have no idea.
So just man, if rates stay above 5%, residential mortgage rates stay above 5%, I think we're going to be okay. But the question that I keep asking myself is, do I think that they're going to hold them above 5%? And I don't know, man. I'm worried. I think that for sure rates are going to continue to go up this year. Like I said, I think after Q2 and hopefully Q1, but after Q2, that's our confirmed recession. I hope, right? Because Q1, Q2 negative, unless Q4 of 2022 is negative, followed by Q1. But I think it should be called in Q1, but I think they're going to call it recession Q2. I think that's when the Fed U-turns. I think that's when the rental market's destroyed. People are getting destroyed. So I could see rates going, staying in the 6% for the first 2 quarters into the 7%. I could see 8. Last year it's hard for me to see 8 unless some more additional data comes out with inflation and things. But I think it's possible that we see rates this year under 5%. I don't think that's good. I don't want it to happen. I don't think it should happen, but I think it will happen, unfortunately. And again, I think they would be shooting ourselves in our foot. But I think they drop rates again under 5%. I think it happens this year. Now, again, but my question is how much is going to be broken? How much time will we have to purchase? Can we find a good deal in our market? Because there is a window. We are going through a window of buying opportunity right now, right? On a historical average, we're down almost 10% from peak. So this is something we know. But again, the Federal Reserve is in control. How much will they break before they pivot? That's what I think. But I really hope they don't get down to 5. But if they do, I mean, let's talk about that. What happens if you guys say rates get under 5%, right? If they get under 5%, it's probably because things are bad, like really bad, right? So if things are really bad, it's possible that home prices still go down with rates under 5%. And if home prices are still going down because something's broken, maybe we're like, oh my God, the investors own all this inventory. That's just anyone that's waiting, that's going to make it even more affordable for us to wait, because not only will we have reduced prices, we already have reduced prices right now. We're also going to be walking into lower interest rates. And that's the timing of this. As buyers on the sidelines, we want a time, when is the bottom of the market and when is the lowering of the interest rates happen? That's when we want to buy, right? But I don't have a crystal ball. Every market is different, right? Houston's different than Austin, obviously. So we just really got to pay attention here. I'm scared about the rates, though, because I just don't trust the government. I just don't trust what's going on here, to be honest. I really appreciate you guys' time. We'll wrap this up here soon. You guys want to add anything to that?
Yeah, they're trying to combat the inflation where everything's super expensive, but they can't reverse course because then we'll be back at square one. I don't know, man. It's tough. I could tell you this can't continue because the average family is struggling, man.
Yep, I totally agree with that.
And that's the thing. It's like we got all this data, we have all this stuff, but like we're talking about unaffordability and prices, and that's not changed enough. Unaffordability has not gone down enough overall. Home prices have not gone down enough yet. And those are facts, right? That's what we know. So in my eyes, like that's really what I'm looking at. Like we got all this other stuff going on over here. We're trying to figure all this stuff out, but like things are more unaffordable than since the 80s. And something's got to change there. Here's another question, Kim. Just email me and I'll try to get you in the hands of someone that I trust. I am not, though. The answer is no. I am not helping people buy houses right now. Again, I had a family friend. I get that question a lot in my email. Travis, what percentage under ask would you offer an open door home listed for 180 days or more? It depends on the comparables. It's hard to say a percentage when we don't have a comparable market analysis. So like the thing is like how much are the houses going for that sold around it in the last 2 years, right? And then how much is it starting out over market value, or is the price starting out under market value? So we first have to understand, is it priced right? All right. Is the house priced right? So let's say it's priced right. Let's say it's priced at market, even though the market's going down. Then the next question is as well, what is that market doing? Right. My Houston market's doing something different than Austin Houston market. So just depending on all of those things, I mean, let's see. So I got my client's house for about 8% off the listing price. So maybe 5 to 10% if it's reasonably priced. See if you can get away with it. But again, a good realtor will lowball for you. That's my opinion, Deuster. It's just my opinion. Or someone said that they're crazy for lowballing, but I think everyone should lowball. It takes 20 minutes, you guys, to complete a contract. 20 minutes, 25 minutes to lowball for someone. That's all it takes. So, I mean, start with, talk to your realtor about 5 to 10%. I don't know though. It's really hard because I don't know that exact property. All right, let's see here. Really appreciate y'all's time. Let's see here. Question. So funny. Such a funny guy, Johnny is. Such a funny guy. I love him. I'm just trying to get to any more questions here, guys, and we'll get out of here because I have to get to work here in a minute. And Orlando's in the house. What's up, Orlando? Appreciate you. All right. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Deuster, what kind of work do you do?
So I do. I'm in the medical field, radiation oncology. So I service all the linear accelerators and whatnot for the state of Florida, and my wife does planning on them for cancer patients on the same machines.
All right, man. Awesome, brother. All right, guys. Well, we're going to get out of here. I think that's pretty much all of the questions, and I scrolled through a lot of them. Before I go, you guys, Deuster, give us some exit words, man.
I don't know, man. Be patient. Pick up some extra income if you can, and just keep saving. You'll be surprised what you can save when you sit there and look at everything and you cut back, and that's what we've been doing.
Yeah, good. What about you, Emma?
And try to pay down your debt. Any debt that you have, get that paid down and paid off if you can.
Yeah, I think that's great. I mean, yeah, get out of consumer debt, save your money, right? Monitor your local housing market, your mindset, and join these lives. Let's get Vital Signs on here. I want to talk. I think Vital's falling apart. Deuster, show Vital some love. I must show Vital some love.
Vital, what's going on?
It's just hard to stay patient. No one wants to keep renting.
Nobody. Oh, please, you got that right. It's making me nuts. Clearly, I mean, it's just making me crazy. I can't.
I hate it.
And the only reason why personally we're still renting is because in my area, it had changed so much. And I'm going to even say it started honestly in about 2014, 15 over here. I saw a big jump, and it only got worse from there. And so that's why we're still renting, because when I look, not saying Zillow is the have all be all is all, but when I look at Zillow in a home and I look at all of the history of the home, the history of it tells me a lot. And that's what I think people need to look at when they're going to go purchase a house, because the history on some of the homes over here, they kind of maintain the same pricing range, pretty much the same pricing range for 15 years. And then all of a sudden they just blasted. And that's never happened in history of housing.
Yeah, it's been pretty stable here too. I mean, and that's like, I mean, a lot of people are like, with prices, remember how they got high, 2% interest rate, no supply. Just saying. So our price is still going to go up? I don't think so. They went up because of 2% interest rates and no supply. All right. Anyways, Deuster, what do you got, man? What do you got? Exit words.
That's pretty much it. Just hang tight, do what you got to do. Listen, patience will pay off. Trust me. And also, just every area is a little different. Take the data. You got to remember your situation, your areas. Try to take the information and apply it to your area. And you might be able to spring upon a good deal, but you got to do it right.
Yeah, and honestly, and all I'm going to say, guys, and I'm going to end this right now, is just, stay involved. Stay involved in your local housing market. The Fed is in control. Stay involved. Understand what a great deal looks like. Stay ready, right? Keep preparation. Keep ready, because a deal could pop up tomorrow. I don't think it's going to pop up tomorrow. I don't. But I'm prepared to take advantage of a deal popping up tomorrow, and I know what that looks like. Right, I know what that looks like, and I want you guys to know the same. So I really appreciate you guys. Mad love, Deuster, Ima. Thank you guys so much. What is it? Wednesday, Thursday? It's Thursday. Have a great Thursday, guys.
Yeah, you too, guys.
Have a great weekend.
All right, guys. I'll see you later. Thank you guys so much.
Bye-bye.